Hi, today we're joined by Chad Tetreault. Chad is Zscaler's Public Sector CTO for AI strategy and governance. Today we're going to talk about AI training in human workforce. So welcome to the show, Chad. Excited to have you on.
Thank you.
So Chad, what's the biggest challenge that you're seeing that the government is facing as it prepares its workforce for AI technologies?
Without a doubt, it's speed versus understanding. And what I mean by that, you can wake up every day and there's something new in the AI news front. And really, this technology is quite frankly, it's moving faster than any training program or learning management system could keep up with. What I see is that, over time, as we develop the structured learning processes, there's a method to training and education. And AI is really disrupting the way in which we can train and educate our workforce.
So one of the terms you hear all the time now are prompts and prompt-athons. How are these prompt-athons? Or maybe to start, you could explain what a
Mm.
prompt-athon is to our audience, and then maybe talk too about how are prompt-athons replacing hackathons and why these are so effective.
I think prompt-athons are great. I think we should all be walking around with t-shirts because to your point on the conversation around learning, I don't have to be a developer to go to a prompt-a-thon. Hackathons are a little different. They are a little more formal, quite frankly, a little more intimidating. But you can build prompt-a-thons where they have a really low barrier of entry. And what I mean by that is you can structure, by department, right? So you can do prompt-a-thons for your HR teams. You can do prompt-a-thons for your finance teams. And really the structured learning becomes a domain that they know, right? So they're experts in the finance area. And really what you're trying to work towards is to teach them this kind of mission-focused learning on how to effectively use AI through prompting. And that's when you start to see how humans will start to solve real problems, even though the speed of this technology is moving so fast, it gives them this great opportunity to learn by doing.
As the government agencies are looking for help from industry to put together, training programs for workforces, how do they do that quickly? And I guess how do they do that with an focus on affordability as well?
Well, learning AI means to use AI. And when I was at DHS, the first round of pilots in 2024, one of the first we picked happened to be a training pilot. And that was an incredibly effective tool because we didn't start with theory. We truly started with what was the use case that we were trying to solve for. And so if you actually train people on AI by having them solve actual, job challenge problems, you'll typically yield significantly better results. We took a human-centered design principle when we looked at that, but I think it's applicable across all existing capabilities. Like I love if you've not seen GSAI or I know we've talked about GenAI.mil or State Chat and others, there's great opportunities to build training right into the platform. And I think that those are the real exciting areas for me as these platforms continue to develop.
Okay. Well, what are some ways in which AI technologies to focus on the leadership to make the government IT leaders more effective and more efficient?
One of the ones that stands out for me is simulation and training. There are exercises across all of government that leaders participate in. They could be devolution of capabilities, they could be scenario planning, they could be, how to respond to disasters. Leaders can actually take advantage of these AI capabilities to solve things like, for instance, maybe faster problem identification within a business process, right? If I'm actively thinking about how I get a grant or a benefit to someone or a community, and I do the scenario exercises leveraging I might be able to predict a problem with my business process significantly faster. I would also probably be looking at things like resource optimization. And, what I mean by that is that humans operate in a very structured way, and models themselves, when you partner with them in your workforce, they can be more creative. And together, you find that humans working with AI leverage resources in a different way. And I think that that's really an exciting area where government leaders can start to take advantage of this technology more and more.
Well, Chad, thanks so much for joining us. I'm excited to learn a little bit more about some of the work that's being done within AI training and human workforce. Thank you very much.